Hey guys, and welcome to our review for The Gentleman, directed by Ritchie, starring Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam, Henry Golding, Michelle Dockery, Colin Farrell, Hugh Grant, among several others. My name is Scott Ellis. I'm joined here by Phil Clark.
2020 movie season officially underway.
Yes.
Here we go. Let's see what it's
Is
got.
it ever?
It's underway.
Yes. Also joining us, Tyler Sotulski.
Who?
I used to be on this.
Welcome back.
Thank
You
you.
never left.
Yeah.
Also joining us is Adam Franey.
I'm quite often here. I'm happy our friend joined us.
Yeah.
Mm.
Big Guy Ritchie fan.
Yes.
To my right.
Huge guy.
Right up
Ritchie.
his alley. Phil, can you give us a little synopsis of The Gentleman
Absolutely.
for...
The viewer. Word on the street is that Mickey Pearson is looking to cash out on his multi-million-dollar illicit marijuana business. With these rumors swirling, adversaries of Mickey start scheming for ways to rip him off and get a piece of the action.
Indeed.
A piece of the action.
Piece of the action.
Indeed.
The whole damn
Well-
thing.
Let's start with you, Ty. Let's get your thoughts. Your thoughts, general reaction to The Gentleman.
Well, first of all,
As a gentleman.
as a
A
gentleman,
little background, maybe.
a little background.
Guy Ritchie fan?
I'm a huge Guy Ritchie fan.
Mm.
I've seen all of his work.
You have?
I have actually. I realized that actually about a month ago. Actually, I realized that. This, in my opinion, is probably my favorite Guy Ritchie film.
Whoa!
That is high praise.
Right.
What was your favorite before this
Snatch?
I think it was Snatch.
That's a lot of people's favorite Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
Snatch or Sherlock
Holmes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was a toss up between those two. But after seeing
Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels.
after seeing this, I would say this has got to be it.
Wow.
Current favorite.
Yeah.
favorite.
All the characters fantastically casted. There wasn't anyone that stuck out poorly for me.
Great cast.
Yeah, like
Ensemble.
I had never
Ensemble.
seen.
Henry Golding?
I'd seen Henry Golding
Right.
before.
Michelle Dockery.
Michelle Dockery. I hadn't seen her before. I was kind of on the fence about her, but then like throughout, I loved her throughout. Very
who's that?
strong.
She's from
the
Downton Abbey
Down-
and also Godless?
McConaughey's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was very good in this.
This is like complete shot in the dark. Could go horribly. Was she Moaning Myrtle in Harry Potter?
No.
No.
All right.
Unbelievable.
Tim,
That was Babu
edit
Frick.
this out.
You might be thinking of Babu Frick from Star Wars.
Episode 9.
She voiced Babu Frick.
Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah. Did you know that? In episode 9. That little gremlin. That little, like, goblin thing? What would you call it? Like, anyways,
Oh, that
was
little
Moaning Myrtle.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was the actress
alright.
who
Ty?
played Moaning Myrtle.
Continue.
Anyways.
not Michelle Dockery.
She grew on you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
You liked her. Towards,
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought she was great towards like at the end. Like she was just really, especially at the end. Actually, she was awesome.
Great in Harry Potter. Yeah.
Story told very well. Classic Guy Ritchie.
Classic guy. What a guy.
With the narration and everything.
Yeah, a few people like really stood out with me. Like, I really loved. Like, I think you guys already know I've got a pretty huge hard on for Charlie Hunnam. Like,
Really?
you guys?
King Arthur, Legend of the Swords.
Yeah.
Charlie Hunnam.
I don't know why you said Swords.
Second best film of 2018 by one Ty Switalski.
Accurate. I loved him in this. Like, great movie. But he was great in it. I don't know why. Like I don't think he did anything.
badass. He did-
Yeah. Like it wasn't anything sort of out of the wheelhouse he hasn't done, but like he brought that extra layer to it. I think.
Great beard, great pair of glasses.
Great
as well.
beard,
Great pair
loved
of
the glasses.
Nice jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Well dressed, dapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pulling a little number out of the Ty Switalski closet.
Mhm.
Cardigan with the dress shirt and tie.
Yeah.
And the long
Beard.
blonde beard.
Mm-hmm.
And the
String,
rifle
yeah.
in the jacket.
Yeah.
Which was
yeah.
Yeah.
awesome.
Pretty confident you've done that.
Yeah, that was pretty inspired. Yeah.
And
By you.
Hugh Grant blew me away.
Yeah,
Like,
against type. Very against
So against type. I have never seen him in that, like, in a non-posh sort of quick whip, like,
He's like a slimy journalist.
yeah, he's just disgusting in this. Love
he's
him.
pretty rancid, yeah.
And I'd say, to round it off, Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Killed it.
Last but certainly not least.
Like, I'd have to equate, like, he's
Coach.
he's the equivalent to Brad Pitt in Snatch to me. Like, just
Right.
that full, like,
Great
balls
supporting
to the
character.
wall, just knows how to talk and, like, does everything perfectly.
Fuck, I'm loving your review right now, man.
Well, I've had a
It's
year to
fuck.
plan it, so.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Fuck, I'm loving your review.
Oh,
But
What
it
do you think
was-
about
What a
McConaughey?
PH.
McConaughey? I'm not a huge
I'd love to
McConaughey
hear what you
fan. I
think
don't
of
know
him.
why. I've never been a huge McConaughey fan.
Okay.
Like, I just don't know if it's the movies he does. I don't. They're not
Be a
sweaty
lot cooler
movies.
if you were.
I loved him in
Yeah,
this,
you are.
except for that little pickled egg bit in the beginning.
Oh, it's my favorite part.
I'm so glad that
Do you guys like pickled eggs? Or
I don't like eggs in general, Scott.
you, of course you do.
Of course I do.
I've never had a pickled egg, so
I will-
This seems
They're
weird
quite
to me.
They're quite good.
Seems very weird.
They're good.
I
Sorry,
think-
go ahead.
Especially paired with a pint and a pickled egg.
I feel like that's
I mean,
very English.
It's very,
It's very poetic,
That's
right?
That's so English.
It's a common.
It's a
like,
great way to
food
ruin a
thing.
pint. Like,
I love pints. I love eggs. Pickled are good. Are fine, as well.
Very British.
thank you, Adam.
Very
Yeah, I'm gonna head out.
But in this,
I loved him in this, and I loved that he
I
wasn't.
loved them.
I loved him in this.
Really interesting.
The one thing I loved about his character though was that he wasn't a bad guy. Like, you know, like there's these people that get into, you know, the business and they do these things. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to give away anything. But like he's not a bad guy. He goes into the weed business. He you know, there's various other things he could go into which they actually talk about in the movie. And he wants to grow and sell weed. You know, it's something that people will come back to him for.
he's on his moral high horse.
Yeah, he's not killing anyone. Like his product's not out there killing people. Like it's just he's the clean drug dealer.
A Wreck-It Ralph type.
It was the,
if
it was
you
the
will.
ground that kills him.
Because he's
Bad guy.
just because he's a bad guy doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
He's no Billie Eilish.
It's weird that
But so overall, you loved it. It seemed like you loved it.
I
you
did love
really
it.
loved it.
I loved it.
Awesome.
Everything about it.
That
Yeah.
seems about right.
Let's jump over to you, Adam. What are your thoughts about The Gentleman?
No pressure. The Gentleman, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a fan of Guy Ritchie as well, I would say.
Okay.
Much bigger fan of his earlier work.
What's your favorite Guy Ritchie? Before going into this.
That's tough, Phil. That's a tough one.
Okay.
I really liked. I was really into him when he first came out with Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch.
Rock and roll.
Rock and rolla.
I actually never saw Rock and Roll,
Oh, it's good.
but I liked that wheelhouse that he carved out. Wasn't crazy about. I didn't like when he got into this blockbuster territory of like Sherlock.
Mm.
And
You didn't like the Sherlock movies?
no, was not the biggest fan.
What about
of
Aladdin?
Sherlock. That's where I lost hope for him. I'm sorry, I didn't really like King Arthur either.
I liked King
know.
Arthur.
Don't get angry.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
It's not
Teach
just
his
You didn't
own.
like Aladdin, though.
yeah,
Thank
me
you. I lost hope for Guy. I didn't know what was wrong with Guy. And I was very thrilled when I heard he was coming back to his wheelhouse to kind of give us like a little bit of the old charm, right?
It seemed like a return to form.
Return to form.
You know, like back to his roots.
Back
You
to
know,
his
like
roots.
hitting the reset a little bit.
Back to start.
And
Because he'd done big blockbuster movies consecutively,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
it seems like a much smaller budget. Like
it wasn't like one
he
for
wrote it,
one for me,
right?
one for them. It was like
he
five
wrote
for
it,
them.
he
Yeah,
wrote it,
and
no,
I'll just be in the back if you guys need me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
no
know when it's
studio
my turn.
entrance.
Yeah.
But I like the one for him. I think it is a return to form. I like this movie a lot. I've seen very middling reviews. A lot of like 3 out of 5s on Letterboxd. Metacritic, I think, was in the 50s.
49 when I sent it to you. I don't know what it is now, but that was on
RT
Friday.
72.
72?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
That's good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't know that I loved it or anything, but I thought, it was right perfectly in his wheelhouse. He didn't reinvent the wheel at all, but that's fine. Like, I don't really have a problem with that. There's nothing wrong with executing a movie that's been done before. There's nothing wrong with doing it again, but well. These are good things, I'm saying.
Is there any compliments you want to throw out every once in a while? Jesus.
I thought Colin Farrell was amazing. He had
Thank
me
you.
I
howling.
love his supporting roles when he does little
right?
supporting roles.
He can be such a good actor when he wants to be. Yeah.
like when he plays like the sort of character actor role
Yeah.
instead of the lead actor role.
I
Well,
think
much like
I
Guy
love it.
Ritchie, like when he strays away from these like Total Recall remake, like generic action man, when he really sinks his teeth in to character roles, he's great.
Tim had a good
Lobster.
point. He said
Lobster.
like every
Yeah.
time he doesn't have to be an American, he's always really good. Like when he doesn't have to have that American accent. Tim brought that up, and I've always thought about that every time.
He
I see
like
a
blunts
movie.
his creativity.
It-
when he
right.
plays an
Yeah.
American, whereas
Yeah.
when he plays like someone from the UK, wherever in
He's
the
just
UK,
expressive.
He lets loose.
He
Yeah.
does. He goes wild.
Yeah, he stole the show for me. A person I'm not normally a fan of, Charlie Hunnam. I really do not like Charlie Hunnam.
Actually, I know that because you and Emily really.
Yeah, Emily also doesn't like him.
Oh, I thought she really liked him.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Um,
Just me. That's cool.
No, he's
Mysterious.
dumb. I liked him in this a lot. I think it's the guy effect. I'm just gonna stroke your guy ego. Yeah, I just think like, I don't know. He has this way of using these actors in such interesting ways. Like Hugh Grant.
Mhm.
Again, never really seen him like this before. I thought he was hilarious. Like I thought it was really funny. Like, it worked as a comedy.
I hated how he was used in Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is also Guy Ritchie. Because how Hugh Grant was used in
who's he in
Man from
that?
U.N.C.L.E. Exactly.
yeah.
Well,
Was he like
there you go. I don't remember. I like that movie.
MI6 person? Or
Yeah,
something?
he was I think he was from MI6, and you didn't meet him until like he was in like all the commercials and like all the ads and Hugh Grant, and then
Your cameo.
you didn't meet him until the end,
Yeah.
and it was like literally 5 minutes of screen time he had.
Nice Man from U.N.C.L.E. poster in this. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
No.
I did.
Yeah.
Shit.
Interesting.
So
So
I
overall,
like that movie a lot, but
Mm.
yeah, I liked it. I just can't say that it blew me away because it was so firmly in his wheelhouse.
yeah,
And
fair.
but it was a very welcome return to his roots, as you said. I guess one complaint, I did find the story a little hard to follow. It was so snappy and like firing everything at me at once that I was like, okay, who's this? Like, how is he connected to him? What? How did he fuck him over? Like, what did he do?
Yeah.
Love the amount of C-bombs in this thing also. Just love a good English see you next Tuesday.
You got Hugh Grant at the beginning. Don't be a cunt, you can't.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Just
Well, let's jump over to you, Phil. What are your
Dun,
thoughts?
dun.
How do you feel?
fly your game.
My favorite Guy Ritchie movie, probably Man from U.N.C.L.E. I really like that movie. I think it's
Yeah, you know what?
I-
The more I think about it, it might be
yeah.
mine as well.
I haven't seen a ton of his stuff, but from what I have seen, that's probably
Snatch?
one of my favorite. I think I have seen Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, but
Okay.
not Rock and Rolla. I haven't
That's
seen
all
that.
you need to see.
I did see King Arthur, I think. Not gonna talk about that.
Legend of the
Sherlock Holmes?
Sword.
I don't know if I like this movie as much as either of you guys did.
Mm.
Okay.
I don't think it was bad. I'm not gonna say like sit here and be like this was a bad movie. I don't think that. I did kind of have fun at times. A lot of
Okay.
funny humor, like you guys said. Some great performances. I thought Colin Farrell was great. I thought Hugh Grant was really good. I thought.
Thank you.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but
Oh.
he really did remind me of you a lot in this movie. Like it really was like that's
Hugh Grant?
like yeah, Hugh
Was
Grant.
it the touching of the thigh and leaving
Everything,
it?
and
for
he's
too
just
long?
like the suggestive sentences that would just like deadpan
Yeah.
to the camera, and he's just
Darlings
like,
and
no,
the
yeah, all that
Constant
stuff. Like,
homoerotic innuendos.
top
Can
of the
you say
bottom,
darling
all
more
have
often,
the,
Doug?
yeah.
I can try.
He really did remind me of you. Like I genuinely thought that in the theater.
Top or bottom? The bottom, darling.
Bottom. But to Adam's point that it was
Oh.
snappy,
Yeah, thank you.
I would disagree with that. I don't know.
Perfect.
I don't know
That's what I'm here
if
for.
it was that like you guys love Knives Out from 2019.
I fucking love Knives Out.
And I think Knives Out is significantly snappier and much more all over the place, and it feels a lot more. I don't want to say concise, but it feels a lot more to the point, and like you get the information and you're with it, and you're very confused, whereas this didn't really confuse me at any point. I was never really, I never felt like I was like trying to figure out the mystery. It felt very like one step, other step. Like I just felt like I knew where the movie was kind of going before it got there.
I liked the meta aspect of Hugh Jackman, Hugh Grant,
and
The Miramax thing?
yeah,
Oh,
As soon
well,
as
and just the whole like
script?
cinema thing, and like
yeah.
I liked all. I did not expect that, not in the trailer.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect the script thing, but as soon as I saw the script and it got kind of meta, I was like, I don't know if it kind of took me back a bit, took me out of it, as
you
opposed
didn't
to
like it.
making me like invested more.
Right, fuck me.
It's a weird angle that you don't see too often, but
Yeah.
it's interesting.
I thought Matthew McConaughey was okay, and then really good at points. Like I thought at the end of the movie he was really, really good, but for the most part he was very like dialogue dependent. Love Michelle Dockery in Downton Abbey. Didn't think she was all that great in this.
Agreed.
There's some really
Better
great
is Moaning Mama.
action sequences, some like tense scenes, but like for the most part, I didn't love this movie. I would say it was fine for me.
To your McConaughey point, I just wanted to point out that I thought he was kind of cringe when
Yeah,
like I can hear him like subduing the Texas like drawl, like I could hear, and I know he's like grown up in the UK, his character, and like he's working in little UK like sort of sayings.
slang
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
every time he did it, I was like, no, McConaughey,
No, it's not
bad,
you.
bad boy.
There's no Moondog, you know?
Yeah, it's no Moondog.
Snow
It's
Moon
no
Dog.
mud or whatever, you know? It's not that kind of role for him.
So
so he can really sink
He
his
said
teeth
you
in.
lot at one point. He's like, you lot, and I was
Yeah.
like, don't say that again.
Yeah, there was another
So-
word he said, and I was just like, ooh,
Yeah,
you
don't
you
do
shouldn't
that.
say that word.
No, you shouldn't.
and it's not a bad movie. I don't want to say like it's a bad
Okay,
movie.
you
It just
hate
it's
it,
just
yeah.
not.
Can you say that it's a good movie then, please?
I cannot say that.
For
either.
fuck's sakes.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna jump in. I like this movie. I didn't love it. I think it's solid. It feels like you know
A
just
warm hug?
solid. Yeah,
Yes, please.
It just seems
Or
like
solid shit?
a very average, you know, amount of entertainment. You know, it's like
Wow.
you can just turn it on and watch it, enjoy it,
Very watchable,
and
right?
then you know, I feel like in 2 months I won't remember what the hell happened during this movie. I just remember that
Perfect.
it was like a nice snuggle for an hour and a half. You know,
Comfort food.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger.
It was a cheeseburger.
My cheeseburger
Yeah,
analogy.
Yeah, the analogy.
I knew it would catch on.
This was-
2020 is my year.
This was a cheeseburger for me.
I've been saying it for years. You know my cheeseburger analogy.
No, I've never heard this before.
He's had 100.
Have
He's
you
gonna
gone
have
this
another
long?
100. He's not gonna remember
Tastes
every single
alright.
one, but
Tastes
he
pretty
knows
good in the
exactly
moment,
what he gets.
But
right?
then you kind
afterwards, you're like, oh, that was a cheeseburger, and
Yeah.
you just throw it away.
Never had a bad one. Never had like a spectacular one.
Okay.
It's just it was good. Yeah.
you've had a good one.
I've had some
Had some good
I've
ones.
had some good ones.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
analogy.
cheeseburger for me. I didn't love McConaughey in this. I feel like Colin Farrell and Hugh
course that's
Grant
food.
were the sort of breakaway stars for me in this. Like they had the meatiest roles. I like Charlie Hunnam in this as well. And Henry Golding seemed to have fun with this as well.
He had me laughing too with the like.
Yeah, his like thing. Yeah, I think you know at least from him, he's pretty new to Hollywood, I guess, and he's kind of played like the protagonist or like the love interest or like that kind of thing in like rom-coms and stuff. So
buttoned up.
it was nice to see him kind of change gears and not get super typecast and do like a villainous role. That was good. I really loved the like fuck like thing. That joke was hilarious.
It was amazing.
There's a couple other jokes which I don't remember. Again, this is
Perfect.
this
That's
is-
what Guy wanted,
yeah.
I'm sure.
but I remember chuckling a couple times. But I do also remember thinking in the theater like I haven't laughed yet.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? Like
Oh, that's not good.
I hadn't laughed yet. I was waiting to like laugh. You know what I mean? And like I might have had an internal like LOL like
Like when Hugh Grant
Like
burns
an
himself
exhale.
on the table.
yeah,
That's like,
just like a slight exhale
Hey.
of the nose, like a
That's hot.
yeah.
like a but I didn't laugh. But I laughed a couple times, but I was expecting a bit more. But I did appreciate that Guy Ritchie was, again, like I said earlier, going back to his roots and kind of, you know, keeping it simple, writing a script, producing it, directing it, just getting back to the characters and writing a sort of fun and you might say convoluted or complex kind of like gangster comedy, thing with the narration. I like the narration and that whole structure of kind of reminded me of like the Ant-Man thing when like that kind of, which I feel like is inspired by Guy Ritchie.
They were doing Guy Ritchie.
So but I don't know. It's just such a unique thing, but it just gets you into it. I don't know. It just grabs you.
It's nice. Yeah.
It's a sort of technique that works to sort of set the stage when you have someone sort of explaining something, but then there's this chance that they might not be a reliable narrator, which is nice because it happens a couple times in this, where like there might be like what they wanted or thought happened. And it plays out in the scene. You're like, oh, what the hell? And then you're like, okay, no, that's just what they thought happened, or that kind of thing. So I like that whole technique of the narration. I think it worked well in this. But overall, I just think, in a couple months, I won't remember exactly what happened. And even now, I don't even understand. Yeah. I feel like during the movie I got it, but like now I'm thinking back. This is a couple days ago we saw it. It's like, I'm trying to think like, how did this end? Like, what happened in the end? Like, what was the? Yeah, and I just can't.
I saw it today, and I couldn't tell you how it ended.
Yeah. Like I could tell you like what happened, but I couldn't tell you like what that means for like the characters and their development. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Like I could tell you the scenes, their last scenes, and what happened in their scenes, but I couldn't tell you what that means.
I can tell you the last bite of the last cheeseburger I had.
Exactly. Exactly. You just remember that it was a cheeseburger.
Exactly. Right. And I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
What was on it?
I don't know.
Yeah. That analogy works oddly well.
So let's give our ratings, and we can get into some spoiler discussion. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna go. It's a heavy 3.
Yes. Heavy 2 for me.
Oh,
5.
That's a 5 for the listeners.
I'm sorry, that 5.
Your favorite Guy Ritchie film?
Yeah.
Wow. Heavy 3. The cheeseburger rating.
Solid. We're fair warning if you haven't seen The Gentleman.
We're pretty even, I think.
Yeah. We're gonna discuss some spoilers. Anything you guys want to mention specifically?
I didn't.
He was in it, right? Like that was him at the end. At the very end, like Guy Ritchie.
Which part?
Keep going.
What are you talking
about? When Hugh Grant is delivering the script to Miramax, and he goes up, and the poster from Man from Uncle's on the back wall. There's all those awards. Like that was Guy Ritchie in the chair, wasn't it? Like
that would make perfect sense, but I don't know what he looks like.
That'd be funny. I don't think he's an exec at Miramax though.
No, I know, but I think they're just like he just used Miramax as a. Maybe he. I don't
Miramax produced this movie.
Maybe he was involved with them. And they said you got to use Miramax. He said, okay, that's fine.
Well, I know what Guy Ritchie looks like.
Was that him in the chair? Like that's what I thought this whole thing was. That like they were delivering the script, and then Guy Ritchie's like, oh, I'll take a look, and then Hugh Grant leaves, and then Charlie Hunnam's in the car. He's like, let's play a game, like
full circle.
Like,
and then he directs the story.
Like the whole conceit is the story that Hugh Grant, the script that Hugh Grant has in the movie. Yeah. Is this movie.
Yeah, we're watching.
Right? Like, that's the whole conceit, right? And that's the whole cinema angle.
Yeah. Well, I like that a lot.
It's 5.
You know what? 6. Fuck it. Yeah. Fuck best Guy Ritchie movie. Best movie, period.
Yes! I think maybe...
I know you're joking, but I'll take it.
One of my biggest complaints maybe is, like, just not understanding some characters' like, motivation. Like, for example, McConaughey, the, like, protagonist, if you will. In this movie, like the main character, like he wants to get out, but at like the end he doesn't get out. He just goes back to it, right? Like that's what happens, right?
Yeah, that is what happens. He was looking.
He was looking to get out, but in the end he doesn't.
And he like doubles down. He's like, no, I'm gonna make money off this, and like, it's a little bizarre.
But, like why? Like that's what I didn't get. Is like I get what happened, I just don't get why. Like what's the reason for it? Like what's the I don't know. There just wasn't. They didn't. It was pretty surface level in that sense.
I'd have to see it again.
Yeah.
But
the lion doesn't get out of the jungle, I guess. Right.
He just doubles down.
He just doubles down on eating things.
But it's kind of. I guess it's just one of those things. Like that's not. The whole point is just to like enjoy the ride and the fun.
Enjoy Guy's ride.
Shut your brain off.
It's like I almost want to know more. I almost wish it was about Charlie Hunnam's character. Like.
Yeah.
How did he get into this? Like, what's his stake in all this?
I feel like he really didn't like do anything.
No, you know what I mean. Like he was just there.
He was just the intermediary.
Well. He's the facilitator.
He killed
the scene. Yeah. The scenes in which
gravity is what kills him.
the scenes in which Charlie Hunnam like chases the kids down, but like goes to retrieve the daughter of like the person that
Duke
McConaughey
or
works
whatever.
with.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't have to be Charlie Hunnam. That could have been just those two goons, right? It didn't
Yeah.
have to be that character.
Yeah.
It's like his character. I don't know. It's like a weird character, right?
They actually also threw like a weird like OCD thing into the mix. Like, I'm not sure if you guys caught that. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't want to go to like the slums to go and get the girl because
It's messy.
it's
and
really messy.
Junkies are messy, and
Oh,
he
like-
has OCD, and it makes him uncomfortable to go.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and that's why that one guy touched him and he freaked the fuck out.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So that was kind of cool. But like, was it necessary to have that one little thing? Could you explore
kind of a
that a
weird
little?
thing.
Like, if that was more of a character thing, like you saw it in his house,
Yeah.
like you saw him in his house, like they could have done more with that. I think.
It's like, oh, let's make him OCD, so he hates junkies. It's like, okay, well now we'll have to set up something where
Yeah.
he hates junkies and a junkie touched him.
I think the Charlie Hunnam character like could have easily just had been like a goon, like just any goon, right? It didn't have to be. It could have been another random
No, I see.
side actor like those other two guys.
I think he'd have to be someone who can actually like talk, like who can actually string together, like who can do his business on his part. You know, like he wants someone to like send to go and do his bidding, not someone who can just go and beat up people.
But those dudes, like, I don't know, they did well. I just think like Charlie Hunnam is like there to like listen to Hugh Grant's
Yeah.
narration.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then also just retrieve that girl and chase those kids down.
Yes.
Like that's basically all he does, and just listen to Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
It's like it could have been like McConaughey listening to Hugh Grant and like some random goons like retrieving the girl. I don't know. It's just like a weird character, and I think the whole reason that his character kind of works for me, even besides all that stuff, is like because of Charlie Hunnam. Like,
Yeah.
You know that makes the character more than like what he actually does, which is like not a whole lot,
Yeah.
right? But I don't know.
Well said. Well said.
I don't have much else. There's not a whole lot to discuss. Anything you guys want to bring up?
No.
Colin Farrell, anything?
5 bang.
Oh, definitely. It's a 5 bang.
You guys
Oh,
like the
Sure about that?
100%.
rapping, fighting kids?
Ooh,
That
no.
was wild. Eggs Benedict, whatever the fuck. I cracked his egg and his legs got
I
jelly.
did like Colin Farrell in like the
Boxing gym.
no before when you
Oh, the
first
like
meet
restaurant.
him.
Or
Yeah,
whatever?
in the diner.
Yeah,
or
Yeah, that
diner
was
or whatever.
good. That was
That was
good.
I liked how they inspired like that scene
Mhm.
or whatever. I like Colin Farrell's interactions with them, but yeah, very cringe. The like rap video robbery stuff was like very cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the flaws for sure.
when they like robbed the like weed farm situation,
Mhm.
and they're like filming it with like GoPros in their head, and it's just like that's cringe.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, we go
Movie shit.
we go to this
Garbage,
weed
dog
farm
shit.
with Matthew McConaughey and the billionaire who's trying to buy his business,
Mhm.
and then like it's robbed, and we're like, oh, how do we like, who could have told? Like, who? It's like, what do you? 2 people went there. Like, we just went there with 2 people, and
You
now
also
it's
had
getting
Hugh
robbed.
Grant though, you know.
Click clack.
But he wouldn't
Yeah.
be blackmailing them for a part of the business
Wouldn't
if he knew exactly where the business was and how it was set up, right? Wouldn't he?
Wouldn't he?
It's the
It's
key to a
just
Switty 5.
interesting.
You're not turning the brain off enough.
Yeah.
You have to.
Well, I think that'll do it for our review of The Gentleman. Phil, where can people find
You
you?
find me on Letterboxd at Wicked Swami. Ty, where
Tyler.
can people find you?
Like,
At
honestly,
home.
where can
This is
we
our
find
first
you?
video,
Usually.
apparently, guys.
You can find me on Take 2.
Nobody can find you.
He's
Yeah.
off the radar.
I cannot be
He's
found.
He's off the grid.
Unplugged.
I don't know how the fuck we found him today, but you can find me on Letterboxd at UpRealAdam and Instagram at UpRealAdam and Twitter at Franny25.
Follow myself, Scott, on Letterboxd at Uphill Scott as well. If you enjoy this video, leave a like on it, leave a comment below in the comment section, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And as always, keep it real.